inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Welcome back to Inside the Trenches. It's your host, Marlon, Big Faith Favorite, and we back in the building. That's right, training camps in full swing. NFL's rolling, baby. We getting ready for some college football. There's so much that we have going on. We want to take this time to thank our sponsors, Health Net System. Dr. Kendra, you the one. You heard me, got me, you know what I'm saying, showing off the little six-pack on Instagram stories. Just the stories, baby. I ain't doing, wife, I ain't got too much on there. You know, you just, you know, been a blessing to me in terms of products. So when you think of Health Net System, all the nutrients you need for the day, if you're an athlete, it's all natural. You can take it. Definitely go to stillbody.org for more information. CL, my man, you're rolling, huh, brother? I saw you've been hitting these training camps, bro, getting darker in the sun.
Yeah, you see me, huh? Got a little tan going. I never think to put the sun, you know, I'm so focused in the morning. You know, I just never think to put the suntan lotion on until, you know, I feel it walking away. So,
Hello.
you know. But that's what we love about camp. That's what we love about football in the South. We realize the climate is just unbearable, and I think hats off to all the media that go out and brave the elements, because it's not for the
it's not for the weak at all. So y'all definitely stick around. We'll be joined by Saints Podcast, Pelicans Podcast, All Media Saints. Erin Summers, she'll be joining us here on the show here shortly to talk about the heat out there and more stuff with the Saints training camp. But CL, before we take a quick break, I want to talk about just this season seems different. CJ Stroud's going into his third season. Justin Fields is a whole new look now. He's with the Jets. You know, everything with the Cowboys, they're saying like this surprisingly big. See, maybe a year. So I guess since that training camp started, like what are some of the storylines around the league that's been standing out to you?
Well, off top, Justin Fields actually went down with an injury already for the New York Jets. And, you know, we always wondering, you know, with all due respect with Coach Glenn, why didn't they possibly draft Shador just in case a situation like this would happen? I believe all over the South, all the training camps are dealing with an extreme amount of heat, as well as conditioning and trying to find the best way to take care of the team and the players as we move forward in this attrition of weather as well as physical attributes.
Yeah, and see, one thing that's true about training camp, it's hot for everybody. It's summertime throughout the whole United States. I mean, down here in the South, things heat up a lot more. But that's what scrapping happens. And it's not just because of the heat. It start the fights at practice. Right. But, you know, the uncertainty, too. I mean, this is training camp, so a lot of time guys don't know what's their story going to be moving forward. Will they be with this team? And then you have veterans continue to prove their point or their worthiness, should I say, as they enter maybe their last contract year, or, you know, you're a rookie, you have a lot to prove. This is something new to you. So it's a lot of emotions around this time of training camp. That's something that's really sticking out. Yeah. Nah. You know, and I ain't talking about Master P song make them say, I'm talking about not one, but two New Orleans area guys, St. Rose, right here on far East Bank, and of course on the best bank, baby, West Bank. Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson gets 99. They're in the Mad 99 club. That deserves a round of applause. Go Tigers, you know, the whole nine, baby. You know, you look at it. This is just huge. But CL, this just speaks volumes about LSU, Louisiana, and the type of athletes we produce down here.
Well, I think it proves that it's not a game. This is still probably EA Sports, but it's not a game. The gentleman of Louisiana continues to show that we are the crop, the cream of the crop. And if you don't believe it in real life, look at it in virtual life. Look at it on a video game. So for these gentlemen to have 99, knowing what they come with and knowing that they are the focus of the defense to stop them. Mm-hmm. And they still put up the numbers that they put up. You know, obviously I'm talking in real life, not the game, but we all know that the game is is an imitation of real life.
Nah, no doubt. And once again, you're proud of these guys. And just personally working with Cox 4 games of the week, these young men are Destrehan and Jamar at Rummel. And knowing them personally, like when Jordan first got to LSU, that was him and Patrick Peterson. That was like my little brothers.
These are guys. This is goals for guys. A little younger than us, right?
Yeah, I mean, these
gentlemen. This is a goal for them.
It's rubbing off on them. It's rubbing off throughout the state. Well, y'all don't go nowhere because when we come back, we're gonna go inside the trenches, but this time with the Saints, baby. We're gonna talk a little training camp. We're joined by Erin Summers. She's gonna talk a little bit about training camp and her time here with the Saints. Team reporter, studio host for the Pelicans and the Saints. So y'all don't go nowhere. We'll be right back, right here on Inside the Trenches, ESPN Baton Rouge. Hello, somebody.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
The vibe in here, yeah. Well, hello, somebody. Welcome back to Inside the Trenches. It's your host, Marlon, Big Favorite. I'm joined by my co-host, CL NOLA. Be sure to follow him at CL_NOLA. And you can follow your boy at Big Fave 504. And look, check this out. If you hadn't done so thus far, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button here on ESPN Baton Rouge. And, if you want the nice short clips and the cool stories or CL's exclusive interviews, y'all be sure to follow Inside the Trenches with Marlon Favorite on YouTube. So hit the subscribe and like button on there as well. Well, like I said, football season is in full swing. And the other day I went to training camp, saw a good friend of mine out there, and I'm like, we got to come on the show. So our next guest has worked with ESPN, NFL Network, worked here with the Saints, the Pelicans as well. My homie, my girl, Erin Summers. Let's welcome her to Inside the Trenches.
Thank you. Love being here.
Yes, indeed. Y'all be sure to follow her on Instagram at EE_Summers. And tons of content. And if you want to know everything Saints and Pels, she the one. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited. It was a long summer. Took a little break, but I was ready to get back into it. And it is hot. I heard you guys mentioning it. It is really hot out there, but so far the practices have been pretty short. So that's been beneficial for, I think, the players and for us as well.
Yes, and it has. And thankful to the Saints and their staff for making sure them tents out there for the fans, bottles of water all over the place.
For everybody.
For everybody, And I saw homie out there selling beers. I'm like, man, it's hot out here for the beers right now.
I mean, it's 9 a.m. People getting going.
It is New Orleans. We do turn up down here. So let's take it back. I know for the last few years I've seen you around with the Saints, working with Gus and those guys. But off air before we got started, you told me you went to UNC for college. So talk to our listeners about your college experience and what got you here to New Orleans.
Yeah, I always wanted to be around sports, but unfortunately I wasn't the most coordinated or athletic, kind of slow. I swam, which was my sport, and I played softball. But going to college, I wanted to get my degree in journalism. So I went to UNC Chapel Hill, studied there, and then went into working in sports right after that for a TV station and actually ESPN radio station in Raleigh, North Carolina. So kind of got started in that realm, did some TV sports coverage, went and did some hosting, some sideline, some analyst work, and kind of took the freelance route for a little while. And then COVID hit and everything was going away. So I was like, all right, let me see if I can get on with the team somewhere, get a more full-time job. And I emailed every single professional team, and the Saints were one of them that responded, and here I am.
Cool story.
That is a wild story. Wow. I didn't think of that.
That's smart.
Oh, I was like a little detective.
That's a great
I was
idea.
like figuring
Now that
out
you-
everyone's email addresses, getting
Wow.
them sent back, and trying a different one. So yeah.
Wow.
Talking about getting it out the mud.
Yeah.
I like that.
Small to me. Makes sense to me. So we've all been to camp. I think you can see it written all over our faces. What can you say the difference is between last year's team and this year's team and energy wise around camp?
I mean, this team is way more energized than we saw last year. And I think that Coach Kellen Moore came in and he said that everybody's going to have a clean slate, from the coaches that come in, the players. We're going to kind of start from square one with everybody and build. And he talks about that every day. We're building towards the success that we want to see day in and day out. But he is bringing the team all together. They're meeting as one. They spent a lot of time doing team activities during the off season, building that camaraderie. And you can see how much they enjoy being around each other. The other part of it is they all, to a T, have said they feel better at this point in camp than they ever have because of the way that Coach Moore has structured the practices. He has put in 2 hours after practice for the players to rehab and recover. So they have a break when they get done with practice until 1:30. And the O-line is taking it to watch movies. They said that they watched Happy Gilmore 2 a couple days ago, Blades of Glory. So, all the classics, right? They're running down together. But again, spending time with each other. And then I've seen guys doing yoga. Obviously, they're hitting the tub, stretching, taking that time to really take care of their bodies. And it's paying off.
It really is. And you can really appreciate that as a player, because going from one thing to the next, you already have to get there super early in the morning, especially the guys that have to rehab. You have to spend that time. You have to eat. Most guys, especially the veterans, want to get that workout out the way, and then hit the practice. And I think one thing recently for Coach Kellen, playing in the NFL in recent times, he's a young coach, the youngest coach, if I'm not mistaken, in the NFL.
Yep.
So for him, he's really a player coach, so he understands what the guys are going through. Like when he was going through training camp as a quarterback, like, man, I wish I could do this. So like all his wishes are starting to come about. One thing that's a big topic out there, guys, has been the quarterback battle. He's been very fair with that. It's been equal reps for all the guys. This is real competition. I don't see any real favoritism. Your thoughts, Erin, on how the quarterback battle going?
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting because I think coming into the season, everybody assumed it was going to be either Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shuck, who they drafted in the second round this year. And Coach Moore quickly said, no, it's a 3-person competition, and they're including Jake Haener in that. And so far, all 3 have gotten reps with the first team, and they're continuing to rotate through, he said, at least until the first preseason game against the Chargers, and then they'll reevaluate where they're at and maybe redistribute some of those reps. But Spencer has the most experience. He did start 6 games last year, didn't get a win, but he didn't really have a lot to work with either because everybody was injured.
That's
the team was decimated last season. And then Jake Haener got the start against the Commanders and then ended up getting benched at halftime. So didn't have a great outing, but he's always performed well in practice. You've seen moments from all 3 so far throughout camp that have been, moments where you're like, okay, I can see that he's got it, against pressure today. They put the pads on. I mean, the O-line was holding as much as they could, but I think the defensive line had a little more on them, a little more pressure, and those pockets were collapsing, and the quarterbacks were sticking in there.
So you was paying attention like I was paying attention.
I knew you were going to say something like that.
So I'll continue to let you tell the people what you saw. Who stood out for you on defense? Just camp-wise.
Yeah.
You have to be today.
I am so fascinated by the defense because Brandon Staley is going to come in and he's implementing the 3-4. First time we've seen it since the Dome Patrol in the 1990s, early 90s. It's very different than what Saints fans have seen for a while. The players have been used to with Dennis Allen being the defensive coordinator and then head coach for so long. And I love the versatility that it provides. Right. You have those 3 down linemen and then the 2 linebackers on the outside, 2 in the inside. And then in the backfield, it's going to be really fun to watch those players fly around. And today, Julian Blackmon got reps as a starting safety. He just got signed last week on the opposite side of Justin Reed. And then from there, Alante Taylor, Kool-Aid McKinstry, and it's been Isaac Yadam that's been on the other side. For the corners, Kool-Aid has really had a very strong camp so far.
Yes,
so I'm
indeed.
excited about that because cornerback was a position that we definitely need to maybe take a step up in, losing Paulson Adebo and Marshawn Lattimore last year. But on that line, Carl Granderson has been standing out. He talked about today how he is slim and trim like a bicycle rim. I don't know the analogy. I'm not sure, like a bicycle rim, like that's what you want as a football player, but he said he's 270, he's got a six-pack again, and he is moving quick, and that's what you want to see. He said they're going to be out there as a defensive line. The mentality is to crush and kill everything. So I like it. I mean, we were 31st against the run last year, so something has to change in that regard, and hopefully the scheme is going to help.
This is true. If y'all just tuning in to Inside the Trenches, we're joined by Erin Summers. Be sure to follow her on Instagram at EE Summers, Saints Saints team reporter, studio host for the Pels as well. Getting around, working around the organization, and doing an excellent job. We talk about guys on the defense, and Tyron just recently retired, so it's good we have Julian in the building now. But the guys up front, when me and CL was making our way to the media room, we spoke with Godchild. We saw his family out there. He had his gazillion kids out there. And like, hold on, let's saw some more 92 jerseys come.
Jersey.
Of
One
course.
that's not in the pro store just yet.
That's what I'm saying.
All of them there.
So, and he's like, man, what's up, Big Fade? Man, we got to get me on the show. And you know, we just kind of chopped it up a little bit. But that's one area that looks really stout, the defensive line. And Luda, inside the trenches, what you think about that rotation with the interior guys?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Acha's going to be the starting nose tackle there. And then behind him, Colin Saunders. On either side, Carl Granderson, Chase Young, another. I mean, talk about just phenomenal talent on the outside there. And then you have Cam Jordan behind him, Brian Brzee, somebody that they're working in as well. So they have a lot of talent, and especially when you kind of pare it down to just three guys, you're going to be able to rotate people in and out a lot. So I think you're going to be able to maintain the athleticism, the speed from start to finish, because you're going to rotate a lot of guys in and out.
I'm enjoying this football conversation, and we do got to get you back on here before you leave. We're not about to have you go yet, but I want to switch gears a bit. We've been mentioning Pelicans, and I don't get a chance to attend a lot of the. Now, CL, he's always at the Pelicans games.
I know, I saw his keychain.
You see him right now. He would have been Pell out today. That's just usually his deal. But I am excited.
I felt a little godly today because I almost saw God out there on that field.
Yeah, it was hello somebody. I'm excited from what I see from the exterior. Joe Dumars, what he's doing thus far. Louisiana guy, understands the culture. Our draft picks. I didn't get a chance to watch all the summer league games, but just from what you saw this summer, what you think about the young team?
Yeah, I think that the fan base was ready for a change, and I think that a change was needed. And going out and getting Joe Dumars, somebody who's been in the league office for a while and been able to watch what all the other teams are doing and how they operate at a very high level and being on the inside, I think helps. He can draw from that for sure. And he made a big splash in the draft, and people had their opinions about whether it was good or not, but he is all in on this team being good this next season, and he believes in it. And unfortunately, you have Derek Queen, who got injured during summer league, so he's going to be out for at least 3 months. That was a tough blow because that's who you really invested a lot in to move up in the draft for. So that was tough, and he was playing pretty well. He is somebody that's going to have to really focus in on his conditioning. He's a bigger guy, and he dropped a lot of weight between high school and college, and he's going to have to figure out how to maintain that through this injury as well, although it's just a thumb. So hopefully he can still get out there and run. Maybe. I don't know. Like, just put some bubble wrap on it in case you fall.
Stay conditioned, right?
But Jeremiah Fears is somebody that really pops. You picked him 7th overall in the draft. He is definitely a true point guard, and he is so quick, and he can get to the hoop. So he's going to be really fun to watch. And then you went out and you got Jordan Poole, Kayvon Looney. You know, those guys will probably start to start the season as well. So you have a big center, and then you have Sadiq Bey, who's coming in as well in that trade with the Warriors. So it's a lot of new pieces, and it's going to depend on how they all come together. But Dumars has said he wants them to be physical, wants them to be fast and play in transition and really just put pressure on defenses. And I think we need a little more physicality. The Pelicans, I mean, Coach Green said it a lot last year, were soft last season.
Yeah, this is true.
Well, yeah, you know, we are the nicest team in the NBA. I think Summer League was the first time I ever saw, well, not ever, but first time I saw it in a couple of years, we actually got a technical foul. Then
Fierce. He got teed up every game.
Yeah.
Like
so
he's a talker and he brings it, and it's fine. I like it. You can turn somebody down easier than you can turn them up, right? So like you bring that fire and that intensity, especially he's 18. You know,
youngest cat in the building.
It's crazy, and
because
he
just
reclassified.
one year, yeah.
Well, he reclassified to get into college early.
Reclassified.
Yeah, so he's like Cooper Flagg, and age-wise, a lot younger.
Yeah, basketball, they get him out there. You know,
Well, we all have our opinion about the retainment of Coach Willie Green. What is yours?
Well, I work for the team, so
hello, somebody.
I'm gonna, not to give you everything about how I feel about all of it, but I do think that he's deserving of another chance with the way things happened last year with the injuries. I mean, it would have been hard for anybody to have success with as many injuries as often. It wasn't like they just missed people for a couple months. I mean, it was throughout the season that people were out. And the way they were planning on playing shifted from really opening night when DeJounte Murray goes out with a broken hand.
That's right. And it was just like downhill.
They put a lot into needing a point guard and somebody to run the offense, and then you lose them. And then you were going to go play small ball, and Yves Missi emerges as somebody that could actually play. So you kind of change the dynamic of the team, and it was constantly evolving throughout the season. Coach Green has one more year on his contract. So Dumars comes in, and he's basically saying, show me what you got, earn your job. Like,
pretty much.
And we'll see what happens. So, I mean, Willie Green was out there the entire summer league, sat next to Dumars on the baseline every game. You know, he's here, he's invested, and I think he wants the challenge.
Yeah, in the Saints draft room, I saw him ducked off. So they're embracing it. So that's cool to hear that the team is going in the right direction. It really is. So we played a little game on Inside the Trenches.
You didn't tell me about this part.
Yeah, sure. I left that out the script. I did. You wanted to come natural, and we have a few minutes here, so we might as well. So we play a game of this or that.
Okay.
Now, you come from North Carolina, so I know, you have Bojangles and all that out there. They got some good food out there.
Are you originally from North Carolina?
Oh, yeah. Where you from? Question.
Well,
I mean, I'm originally from California, but I only lived there till San Diego area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But I only lived there till I was 6, so I can't really, claim it.
A couple holidays, you go back, visit family out there.
How long have you been in New Orleans?
This is going into my 5th year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is appropriate. Okay.
We got
Jambalaya or gumbo?
Gumbo.
Okay. All right.
East Bank or West Bank?
I don't know the difference.
Oh.
We gonna get you together. It's okay.
It's all right. That's okay. That's okay. Okay.
I'm really bad with directions. Like still to this day,
That's
like I
understandable.
pull up my GPS to get to the facility. So I'm like, I don't know what bank's what. I don't know if there's a river, lake.
Feel good about that because there's no north and south in New Orleans.
Right.
Okay.
So
So when you cross the river, you're on the West Bank. Come cross, you're back on the East Bank. All right. So I got one. Mardi Gras or Jazz Fest?
Ooh. I mean, I love Mardi Gras. It's a good time. Unfortunately, covering the Pelicans, so doing the studio hosting stuff, they are out of town, but I still have to work.
That's right.
So it kind of puts a damper on my parading, but I definitely go to both. I do some Mardi Gras and always hit Jazz Fest too. It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Saints or Pelicans?
Ooh,
man.
That's he bringing them up.
All right, I will say whoever is getting me a bonus at the end of the season.
Somebody, I like that answer. That's the answer of the night right there.
We haven't been to the playoffs in a minute,
Yeah, you're
but we
right.
get to the playoffs and I get a bonus. So
Hey,
who's going to
well,
get me there this
write it
year?
in.
I mean,
That's right.
that's a good way of looking
I
at
like
it.
that.
I love it. Okay.
He's really been taking all of mine, so that's why I've been coming up with things just at the last moment.
You've been rolling though.
You've been taking.
You I'm trying to think of a really good one.
Oh man.
Okay. Pearline candy or beignets?
Oh, beignets. For
Okay.
sure.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Yeah. But you just got to make sure like you don't sit right there on the water because then like the wind comes and it blows all the powdered sugar. Like if you go to the
This is
one
true.
by Jackson Square.
Oh, yeah, well, you got to cover it
now
up out there.
we got some outside.
Okay, we got time for one.
Right.
Go ahead.
Both UNC Hall of Famer, Michael Jordan or Lawrence Taylor.
See, now you're going football, basketball. See, LT is the real LT. Like, you know,
for sure.
LaDainian Tomlinson came along and people forgot about Lawrence Taylor. And he was just an amazing football player. But I think you got to go with Jordan just because of what he's done, how he changed the game, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel about the new head coach, Bill Belichick, at your alma mater?
See, this is the first question people usually ask me
Yeah,
once they find out I went to UNC.
You know it was coming. It was coming.
You know.
I was surprised originally with the hire because you go from Mac Brown to Bill Belichick, and when you're worried about like the age of one coach, and then you go to one that's also old, like no, they both had a lot of success.
Right.
But then when you add in Jordan Hudson, the girlfriend, that's when things get dicey.
Yeah. Wasn't it like a report where like they didn't want her to come around to
Yeah, and then
it came to a head quick.
Yeah, they had the players having to come out and say, "No, we don't see her around. She's not around," and it's just been quiet for a little while now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, maybe that was just this.
Oh, well, football
Storm.
season about to kick
Oh,
back
yeah.
off, so I don't know. Hopefully it
Well,
stays
yeah,
quiet.
We'll
Well,
see.
well, thank you so much for coming
Yeah.
on the show. Your story was very motivating as well. So one thing we like to do here, that's your camera right there. If it's a young lady, a young journalist out there that's trying to be where you at, what bit of advice you have for her?
I always say just to make sure that you show every day that you deserve to be here, and that's in your preparation, the way you carry yourself, and what you do. Don't be intimidated by these guys because you definitely deserve to be in whatever spot you want to be, whether it's on camera, behind the camera, scouting, coaching, whatever it is. You work hard, take advantage of your opportunities, and just be confident.
Well, she's Erin Summers. Great message. Again,
Great
team
message.
reporter, studio host. You could be that too. So y'all
Some
keep
ladies
your eyes on
watching.
the
Exactly.
prize.
Believe
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
For the
ladies
Saints and the
watching.
Pals. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Erin, y'all remember, follow her at EE Summers on Instagram.
Thank you,
so much for being
guys.
on the
Thank
show.
you so much.
Well, y'all don't go nowhere. We're going to have little Chris come back and join us.
Oh,
And we're
little
going to go around the league, baby. We're going to talk a little Saints, a little bit more Saints, and a couple more things here on Inside the Trenches. It's Inside the Trenches right here on ESPN Baton Rouge. Y'all don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Peace.
Inside the Trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the Trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Well, hello, somebody. Welcome back to Inside the Trenches. This is your host, Marlon, Big Fave Favorite, and we're having ourselves a grand time. Shouts out to Erin Summers for joining us on the show. Y'all make sure y'all do follow her at EE Summers on Instagram. A lot of insight with the Pelicans. I really needed to get that Pelicans information down pat. We talked about Saints training camp. We agree amongst the same on the same subjects. Really good interview. If y'all missed it, be sure to check that out here on demand on ESPN Baton Rouge's YouTube channel, and we'll have this on Inside the Trenches with Marlon Favorite later on. Well, We got 2 guests today, baby, back-to-back guests. Now, last week we were blessed to have a young man that plays football here in the New Orleans area, Anthony Parker Jr. He's actually getting ready to start his junior year at Kennedy High School here in the New Orleans area. Well, when I'm off air, I talk sports with a lot of folks, and I thought it would be a very interesting show if we brought on his dad, Anthony Parker Sr., who played sports in high school, knows everything that me and CL talk about on the show. He would fit right in anyway. But I thought it was unique to have him come on because Anthony owns 2 restaurants here in the New Orleans area. He owns Mo's Mexican restaurant on Veterans and Metairie. I know a lot of y'all went there before. And also Jersey Mike's in Thibodeau, Nickel State. That's where all the players go get their little sandwiches and all that good old stuff. So I want to welcome our next guest onto the show, Anthony Parker Sr. Welcome to the show, Anthony.
Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
So, Ann, I know a lot about your story, so I know CL probably going to steal the thunder on most of these questions. But I guess I want to ask you about, we left off talking about Anthony. Going into this junior year, looking at Anthony the last 2 years, just in lieu of talking sports here and watching the type of defensive tackle he's going to be, man, how excited are you for this season to start?
I'm very excited for the season. Not just for, the football aspect of it, but just for the anticipation for all the hard work that he's put in behind the scenes, off the camera, away from the field. As a father, you get to see your child grow and the passion that he has for the things that he loves, and you see those things come into fruition for them. It's an amazing thing to see. Growing up, I don't know who my dad is, so I took it as a big part of me to make sure that everything that my son wanted to do, I was behind him 110%, no excuses. So I make sure that I'm always there for him, whether it be at practice, games, extra coaching drills. I take all excuses off the board, and I'm blessed to have a support system for him. Not just myself, but my wife as well. His mom, she helps when she can, and also my family too. Like I said, growing up without my father, not having that real family structure around him, so breaking that generational curse for him was a major thing. So, going into this year, into this season, I'm excited because it's a different level of support. He has a different level of focus, and all the hard work has been building up for this. So, we can't wait to see it happen.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to see it too. Very intriguing young man, and it's always that calm before the storm.
Yeah.
So, and I know these guys kind of relax a little bit. We got the ESPN in the background. It's the cool studio,
Right.
But I can't wait to see that young man turn up. Tell me, brother. Give me a day in the life of not just a business owner, a business owner.
Man, there's not enough hours in the day. And I'm pretty sure my wife could agree with that too. If I could have had an extra hour, it would still not be enough. Because it's not just about owning the business. It's about, being a husband and a father too. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't separate those two things. A manager can put down the job. It can literally clock out, leave work. When you own it, work comes with you. So I'm literally, even when the business is closed, I'm still working on things, still planning for tomorrow, next week, next month. And then you got to take account to the financial responsibilities and burdens that come along with that too. So I have 2 other partners that are involved in these endeavors with me. And I'm the type of person, I take a lot of pride and responsibility for the things that I'm involved in. So if I fail, everybody around me fails. So I can't fail. Right. Like, it's not just my household that's on the line. I got 2 other families that's dependent on me to be successful too. But not only that, I can't also neglect my family because of that. Mm-hmm. But then you look at it from another aspect. Every individual employee that works for us is depending upon me. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not just the owner that's just running a business to make a profit. I'm running my business to build people, to break curses, to change lives on both sides of the counter. If you want to be successful, you got to instill that success into the people that you hire and bring into the building, especially in the restaurant industry. A lot of people think that we're in the food service business. But what I like to tell everybody that we interview and that we bring on is that we're not in the food service industry. We're in the people business. Right. Mm-hmm. We just happen to serve food.
Yeah.
So, and that people business goes both ways. The people that we hire and work with, also to the people that we serve. If I'm not taking care of my team members, how can I trust them to take care of the customers that's coming inside the building? How can I trust them to take care of the building when I'm not there? I'm only as successful as I am because of the people that I have around me. I can't stand up if they're not supporting me. And of course, the first person that has to do that is my wife. And I know that as long as she's in my corner, I'm okay. I can lean back on her. She's always going to be there for me. But when I look at my team around me, I got to make sure I have a strong team. And that trust takes time, but it comes from a willingness to learn and to care, and also a willingness to grow. And when you see that in people, you got to foster that, because if they feel as if though you care about them growing, then they're going to care about you growing too.
Right.
You spend a lot of time with your family. They tell them too, got to get them again on the bowling. We was bowling last year. We had some fun doing that, and you balance that out, because every time I talk to you during the football season, man, we just coming back from Lafayette and then played out here, and I didn't see Moles break a sweat. Y'all had just opened Jersey Mike's. How you balance that stuff all, man?
Oh, Favor, if I could tell you if it was easy, I'd be lying to you, brother. like you got to take it one day at a time. You got to make sure that you're planning things out as much as you possibly can. Stay on top of the details of your time, and be as organized and routine as possible.
Right.
You know, my day starts typically around 5 a.m. I center my day around my wife waking up in the morning. My wife drives school buses, so she has to be out the door early. So I don't let her walk out the door without her seeing me woke. But I also make sure that I'm the last person to come inside the house. I'll make sure that everybody within my home is safe. So typically I'm the person that's walking around the house, checking all the locks, locking all the doors, turning off all the lights, making sure all the kids in their rooms and everything is good. Right. But then once I get off from work, once I leave work, our focus shifts from work to the kids. And then once we get the kids home settled and homework's done, then we spend time with each other. And then once my wife goes to sleep, I take quiet time for myself to kind of de-stress, defuse, and then reset for the night, go to sleep, and wake up the next morning and start off again.
Copy that. Well, with a Jersey Mike's in Thibodeau, we just recently had the Manning Passing Academy camp, and before that, it was the offensive line camp.
Right.
That's right.
In Thibodeau. How do those huge events affect your business and how you prepare for such events, because we know the abundance of people that will just come to Thibodeau for those.
You got to make sure that you're taking a micro and a macro approach to those type of things. Both are massive events, but for different reasons. Both serve two different audiences.
Right.
Manning Passing Academy is all about glitz and glamour, because it's quarterbacks. Everybody want to come see quarterbacks throw. So you got to step your game up when they're coming into town. And it's not just because it's the Mannings, but it's what's associated around that. The Mannings have done a lot, not just for Nichols, but for the Thibodeau area, all within itself. Right. I mean, they could bring that passing academy anywhere. But they choose to hold it at Thibodeau, and they've donated a lot to that. So when I look at my restaurant and how we can be a part of that, if I every year since we've been open, what we do is we give out 1,000 cookies. Every year, 1,000 fresh baked chocolate chip cookies, and with that cookie is attached a buy one get one free coupon that the families at registration can take for that weekend while their sons are participating in camps or whatever, and they got the siblings and the kids running around. There's not too much going on in Thibodeau. You can bring yourself and your kid in to come get a sub on us. So we use that as a way to reach out and welcome those people in, because one, it's a national brand. Who hasn't heard of Jersey Mike's?
Right.
And who's not going to jump at the opportunity to get a free, fresh Philly off the grill?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to capitalize on that. And then it's an opportunity for us to give back, too, to jump on that train. Now, for the O-line, D-line camp, it's different.
Big boy.
That's the big boys.
There's a lot of people, too.
Yeah,
right. So we reach out to our connections that we have on Nichols and work with them to make sure we're feeding the staff and the staffing on those levels. And then we market through the players and the coaches that are there, versus pulling in families, because not too many families stick around for that. They drop their kids off. It's a full weekend of camp. And they come back and pick them up at the end. So not too many people are really staying in Thibodeau for that. So we just make sure we're keeping more of a local focus on that type, and we're rebuilding off the recidivism for those kids that may come back for a Nichols game. Those parents that when they left, they come back next year. They say, you know what? Before I drop you off, let me go run over to Jersey Mike, since they took care of y'all on campus. We're gonna catch them this year.
Right.
So that's those type of things.
And you can see that obviously you're looking at your books like, man, when we did this, the next 2 months of those kids, their parents coming there. So I mean, it's the theory is the theory is brilliant.
The marketing is. What's your marketing background, brother? Because that was phenomenal.
There is none. It's all off of experience and working with people. So in order to understand, like I said, we're not in the restaurant business. We're in the people business. Right. So you got to know where people are and where people are going. I can't separate myself from being a husband and a father, so I use that experience. I put myself in those shoes when I'm thinking about who am I reaching out to? Who am I trying to pull in? What would get me to spend my money here? If I'm coming to this event, if you're giving me a chocolate chip cookie and a free sub, you about to get my money.
Right.
That means you want me to come in.
Right.
You putting yourself out there. You're not just banking on the fact that you're here and your doors are open.
Right.
So that's what I use for my experience. I put myself in real world situations because at the end of the day, you can't separate who you are from the role that you have.
If you just tuning in Inside the Trenches, baby, you're listening to Anthony Parker Sr., owner of Moe's out there in Metairie Mexican Cafe out Bar Love going there. It's off the chain. And then look, every time I go to one of his restaurants, she tell me exactly what they're getting. Now that's my new little sandwich or meal. And Jersey Mike's in Thibodaux. So if y'all are in the Thibodaux area, go to Jersey Mike's. Look for Andy or any of his staffers and say, hello, somebody.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Might throw a little extra cheese on that Philly. Hello.
Yeah, a little cooking.
Throw a little bacon on there, you know?
Yeah, a little something.
Yes, indeed.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches. You ever, I don't know if you and your partners talked about this, but what a lot of brands are doing, we see Ty Graves doing it at LSU and across with Drewski and those, getting into the NIL space.
Yeah, so we actually did dip our toe into it for a little bit. The very first and so far the only deal that we ever did was with Brian Thomas Jr.
Okay, wide receiver.
Yes. Yeah. So it's funny because this was before Brian blew up.
Right.
And I was telling Will and Brad, my partners, like, look, if there's anybody that we're gonna grab hold to, it needs to be BTJ. I was like, people don't know about this kid. He's 4-star, low 5-star, coming into high school from out of Walker High, very athletic. He's going to be the guy. That's a first-round wide receiver. Of course, everybody was on Malik Neighbors. It's easy. It's flashes here. But I'm telling you, number 11 is going to be the guy. He's easy for us to get to. He went to Walker High, which was right up the road from one of our Moe's locations in Denham Springs.
I was going to ask you about that.
We had a partnership with that high school already, so we just tapped into the relationship that we had with the principal over there. And he put 2 and 2 together for us, and the rest was history. He came in, shot some photos. We got to hang out with his moms and his pops, talk to them a lot, especially leading up to the draft and through his junior campaign, which he just completely exploded.
Right.
And it's funny because going into that season, I told him, I said, this is going to be your year. And I still got those text messages in my phone. Real cool, humble guy. Like, even whenever I see him, he makes sure to come see me and shake my hand. It was just a phenomenal experience. But the NIL market isn't something that, like a smaller restaurant or franchise owner is going to dip into right now because it's constantly evolving.
It is.
It's constantly evolving. And you got to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into.
Right.
We learned a lot with that experience, and it wasn't bad at all. I mean, we saw a lot of impressions, a lot of feedback from that area, building up those in-store sales from, his relationships that he was able to reach out and use. But it's a learning curve that you're literally sailing in uncharted waters right now. And you talking about us sailing in a pirogue versus Ty Graves sailing in a yacht. That's two completely different experiences.
You got more.
Yeah, you got more than a yacht too.
Yeah. I was in the suite for the Super Bowl. Wow.
Bruh.
We just had Erin Summers on the show. We talked a little bit about the Saints. I know you go to a lot of games, season ticket holder.
Sure.
What's your expectation? I know you've been following the news, checking out Twitter, X, or whatever they call it, getting the information from what you're seeing. How do you feel thus far as a Saints fan?
I'm happy because it's a bunch of new. And I think that it was more than well overdue for some new. I still think that there's some new changes that are left to be made. But I'm neither here nor there. I don't own that franchise. But what I will say is I'm excited because we don't know what to expect. I think looking at the team as a whole, I'm excited for the changes that the coaching staff is bringing. I think Kellen Moore is really going to surprise a lot of people. I think he's a really, really good X's and O's guy. He's going to get the most out of the guys that we have. I'm excited to see what this offensive line is going to bring because we have so many high-value picks. But I am concerned about the fact that we have a third-year starter who's going to be playing his third different position in the league. We have a second-year starter who's moving to the original position that he was drafted out of college for. And then Taliese Fuanga. And then we got a brand new left tackle drafted out of Texas that was drafted in the top 10 pick, in the top 10 of this last year.
Ernie Banks Jr.
So you got 3 first-round picks within the last 3 years all up front. And then if you skip 2 more years, you got another first-round draft pick and Cesar Ruiz.
Yeah.
And then you got a center who's really graded out to be a first-round center.
Right. Even though we got him
in the second round, but he's starting to show some injury inconsistencies. So while we have a lot of promise on that line, we could potentially have a lot of problems too.
Right.
So I'm excited to see what that line brings. I think Spencer Rattler is going to be the guy to start the season. From what I'm following from Nick Underhill and Ross Jackson and all those guys.
Or us.
And I was just about it. And I was about to say, and Marlon Favorite when he decides to go out to the field on those days.
Not
He's
changing
training,
colors for nothing out here, gentlemen.
He's really sticking inside them trenches, you know what I'm saying?
Hello. Well, as much as we can see. The D-line, O-line, way over there.
D-line, O-line by 2 lanes.
Yeah, literally.
We can't see him.
Cannot see him.
But you was raving about Kelvin Banks Jr. when they drafted him. Well, really both of y'all because, again, they attacked the need.
Yes, I was not mad at the draft pick because the offensive tackle spot, that left tackle spot specifically, has been a problem child since we lost Teron Armstead. So we're talking about a half a decade of a problem. Why not solve it if you got the opportunity to do so? When you clearly don't have a guy, as far as the quarterback is concerned, that you value at that spot.
Right.
Don't reach for something when you don't have to. It was a smart play. I'm not mad at that at all. I'd rather take my lumps on a top 10 tackle than a top 10 quarterback that busts.
Every day.
It makes all the sense in the world. One thing that did stand out, and I know we're going to talk a little bit about this more for all our viewers about some of the things at camp that stood out, was the versatility in the packages with the defensive players. Coach Staley's being very strategic, mixing these groups up. It was very hard to tell at one point, CL, which was the starting group because of they mixing them up. Like you have mismatch, and you had Ridgeway in with Alante Taylor. Because I was confused when I saw Alante in, and I still saw the 5 guys across because I felt like one of them should have came out for the nickel.
Right. That's when they took the safety out.
Yeah, so they took the safety
out. And then Alante was lined up on the outside as almost like an outside corner, but we know he's our slot for sure.
Right.
So that's like a for sure. Yeah, that's like the cover one. What you call that? That defense was a 1 high safety. Yeah, they did switch to that, but he was just playing tight end. That's why they didn't. I just got confused because I saw Alante on the end. I'm used to seeing him
more in the box.
And that's the beautiful thing about it because, I've been just like you, brother, and you so strategically told us this, that we needed some new energy.
Yes.
We needed something new. We needed to find other ways to get pressure on the quarterback.
Yes.
And I think this 3-4 base is a perfect situation for us because we're actually, even last year, we have the talent to run a 3-4.
Yes.
And we have the edges. We have a Granderson. We have a Chase Young. We'll see what Foskey does. We'll see how they use Cam.
Not even outside of Foskey and Cam. Think about your interior front being a Devon Goshaw along with a Brian Brzee who can kick from a 3 all the way to an outside 5. How are you're forcing the offensive coordinator to make adjustments based off of your linemen. And as a defense, that's what you want.
Yeah, we dictate.
You want to dictate to the offense what you're doing. And I love that because now you don't know if I'm in a true 4-man front, a 3-man front. I could walk down that linebacker, and now you're looking at me in a 5-man front with 2 stacked linebackers and 3 DBs. So how you gonna treat me?
Right.
And at that point, anybody hot.
And I think we all love it because to a man and to a woman, we've become a little predictable.
Absolutely.
We've been a little bit predictable
4-3,
offensively, defense, and even though the defense have held us down over the years, even last year, you know, the defense was just on the field so long because the offense wasn't giving it to us. So I'm confident going in this year that the defense, like any other year, the defense will show up first, and then, you know, the offense will eventually come along. But we have different ways to get pressure on a quarterback, which I love because that back end now that Blackman has gotten next to Reed.
Yeah. They're cleaning it up. They're filling in
immediately.
I'm high on Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Oh, for sure.
He look good out there. Yeah, he been balling.
Julian Blackman and Eric Reed.
Right.
That's gonna lock up a lot. It's gonna surprise a lot more people than you
We're
think.
bigger, faster, stronger.
Yes.
Immediately.
And younger.
And younger.
Yeah,
because Blackman said this was fifth year.
This is fifth year.
Yeah.
So you got guys who know enough but still have a lot left to prove.
Right.
And that in the NFL makes a major difference.
And I definitely love the situation because Blackman spoke after practice and he said that the whole offseason he had been in contact with Coach Staley. And one by one, you've seen gentlemen that have a past with Coach Staley that is coming in like a Godshaw, like a Bullard that just came in, like a Blackman, on levels of this defense. So everybody's not learning. Now we have guys that's on the field that's actually teaching the defense to the guys that may be, you know, not all the way on it. So collectively, I just think by default, we'll be a better defense than we were even last year.
No doubt. And we got a few more minutes here with you. If y'all are just tuning in, we're joined by Anthony Parker, owner of 3 spots, right? You got the Denham Springs Moles, the Veterans Moles. Homer. Oh, I forgot about Homer Moles. That's 4. Hello, somebody. Don't shortchange them. So look,
I ain't too old for NIL.
Hello, somebody. And that's a funny thing, right? Because since y'all been in the NIL space, that's what my next question was going to be about. And you have to tell me why. Okay, you have an NIL opportunity to get 2 people. Those 2 people are either Drake or Kendrick Lamar. Who you picking and why?
Wow. We've been doing this.
I'm going straight Kendrick Lamar, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna get the most bang for my buck right now.
Oh man,
because Kendrick Lamar right now is selling out random shows of overseas, and Drake is canceling them. Immediate return on my investment.
Oh really? So that's how it's going down.
Kendrick is adding shows that weren't there and selling them out.
So what happened when Drake brought out all those artists overseas and he headlined it 3 days in a row?
You're right. And then he had a tour. He canceled the show that was supposed to take place tomorrow night. Canceled off the books.
Oh man.
Gotta shut it down.
So
that's 2 concerts in a row that Drake has had that he's had to take dates off the calendar.
So you feel like if you bring him on, he's going to miss one of your...
I'm gonna miss an event.
Oh yeah,
I'm losing money.
Businessman.
I'm losing money.
Ain't do that.
He cold right now.
Ain't do that.
The boy is on ice. That's why he calling himself Iceman.
Oh, no.
That's why he calling himself Iceman.
Well, that's enough. That's all the time we have.
FCC, we saw it.
Listen, 4 locations, baby. Homer, Thibodeau. You're going to make it where it's really the same place. But you got Jersey Mike's, Moles. Hey, listen, all the food's delicious. The guy's before he bought these spots, he like, hey, these are places I want to invest in because the food is good.
Right.
So listen, y'all, make sure y'all go there and tell him, man, Big Face said come over and get a little something.
Yeah,
man,
you're
I'm talking about. Well, Aaron, man, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank y'all, fellas.
Pretty sure Kendrick Lamar looking forward to that contract.
Yep.
And I'm looking for my NIL deal.
Definitely trying to get with a guy who about to win the most Grammys in hip hop history.
Oh man, yeah, definitely enough time we have. Well, man, Ed, thank you for coming on the show. Look, y'all, we're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna take an even deeper dive in the Saints training camp when we come back, and we're gonna go around the league as well. It's Inside the Trenches, baby.
Oh yeah.
Here on ESPN Baton Rouge. Hello, somebody.
Oh yeah.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Oh yeah! Welcome back to Inside the Trenches. It's your host Marlon, Big Favorite, and we're live right here at the Loyola Studios in beautiful New Orleans, Louisiana. And that's right, you're watching ESPN's Baton Rouge's YouTube channel, and we want y'all to keep watching. Every Monday at 6:30 p.m. we're gonna be right here. And football season, y'all know it gets even better. I cannot wait till the season get here. Shout out to our two guests that joined us on the show, Anthony Parker, which I told Ant I was going to send him the show. Look, I'm going to send it to you right now, Ant. And we also want to thank, he did the same thing. And same thing to Erin Summers for coming on the show, giving us her insight on the Saints.
Definitely.
Anthony giving us insight on entrepreneurship and what it means to actually run a business. And I have to agree with them. Family comes first, yeah.
Great perspective to be not in the business of food, but in the business of people. You dropped a lot of gems, honestly, and you guys, if you didn't catch it the first time, you should maybe see it again. We originally started off with 2 of his franchises, but lo and behold, he actually has 4.
4, right.
And, in this surrounding respective region. So, obviously a very, very, very intelligent guy. And he was on point with the Saints as well, because it is a trick bag that we're going into this season.
Speaking of which, we have little Chris on the set, baby. Shouts out to Chris.
What's up?
He
What's
swagged
up,
out,
man?
you know what I'm saying? He got the Lloyd outfit on today, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Chris, so me and CL, we have been to a couple of training camps thus far, and the conversation goes as follows. Who's going to be the starting quarterback? That is the number one question, obviously, here in New Orleans. Prior to a handful of years ago, that wasn't a question for about 17, 18 years. So I guess since the season has kicked off, I guess what's some of the things for you're looking for coming out of this training camp?
Okay. I am interested in to see who will win out that quarterback battle, who Kellen Moore would trust to lead their team, and who the guys in the locker room will trust as the quarterback competition goes on, as training camp comes on. And I'm also interested to see Brandon Staley's 3-4 defense and how that will work out. And hopefully the run defense can be better over the course of this year. And let's see how this scheme can fit out with this defense.
No doubt. CL, just based off our observations the last few practices, of course, we talked to Erin about this. Coach Kellen giving the quarterbacks their fair share of rotation.
Right.
Rattler, Shuck, Hanger, all of them had reps with the first offensive line.
It did.
You have to do it that way, right? And how that's looking for you so far?
I like how Coach is being fair. I like how Coach is making sure that there is no favoritism. The guy that wins the job truly will be the guy that wins the job. And every day there's an opportunity for even the third string on the field. So I'm grateful for that. I'm also grateful for the fact that he's changed the philosophy of practice. 2 hours on the field, then dedicate 2 hours to rehab. Last year was a snake-bitten year that not even Gargamel himself could have predicted. Inside joke that just happened during a break. Don't worry about it. Not even Gargamel could have predicted the injuries that we had last year. I like how we're paying attention to taking care of our bodies. Knock on wood, we haven't had any of those I words. JT Gray went down a little bit with a little back something, but for the most part, we've had a healthy training camp because we are paying attention to, the wear and tear we're putting on out there and that 90-degree weather that me and Fave survived earlier today.
With the sweat bag on.
I'm just grateful because just like our previous guest says, we just needed everything anew. We definitely need it.
And we do feel that out there. I think just being at practice the last few days, it's a fresh look. You have more of guys flying around, being a little more energetic.
Right.
Even at the interviews, usually they'll drag to the interviews and be like, yeah, okay, what y'all talking about? Yeah, whatever.
Right.
It's not dismissive. And even with the interviews with the head coaches, like when Coach Allen used to come to the, we'll just figure it out. And it's just this overly confident attitude on a medium, sometimes low base team at the time. Coach Kellen Moore sticks around. I saw one guy, like the interview was done. He was like, no, cool, no worries, man. I'll just catch a question over here on the side. So it's more of a humble approach, if you ask me. I want to talk about the quarterbacks, and then we'll move on to a couple of areas on the team that stood out to me. If y'all just tuning in, feel free to comment below. What are you looking to see out of the Saints? Have you had a chance to check out? I know Ross and Nick Underhill and a lot of those guys have been doing an excellent job of putting out content just so y'all can see some things. And that's another thing, too. It seems like the media has more cameras out there for more extended practice.
Everything's new. It's not the old song and dance in New Orleans. And I'm glad. I'm really glad because even during a transition, haven't been a situation that we didn't address. We didn't in the beginning of the offseason, we didn't have a nose tackle. We went and got y'all. We needed more beef up front. We went and got Bullard. We needed to replace Tyrann Matthews that all of a sudden retired in the middle of camp. Replace him the next day with a guy younger, faster, stronger. So just the attention to detail about the needs and addressing of the needs by default will be better.
Correct, and the depth too. And when you do look at the quarterback battle and how this offensive line is coming together and how the team is evenly doing run pass, and even rolling the running backs through, it does make this competition much easier. Now, what I will comment, it does seem that Spencer Rattler has the most confidence. You would have the most confidence. You have the most NFL experience. You had the most starts with 6 starts last year. Again, they weren't successful starts, but it was enough for Spencer to have somewhat of an edge. Erin mentioned that earlier, right? We didn't have a healthy offensive line, so that played a major role too. So I
And
do
healthy
think-
receiving core.
and a healthy receiving core.
And a healthy tight end room.
Chris, that's something. Yeah, the tight end room. That's another thing to look at. And Jawan Johnson does
Taysom
look
went
up to speed. That's something we have to get into. But Chris, when you look at the receiving core right now, you have guys like Brandon Cooks that's back on the team, and I thought he looked pretty sharp at practice. When you start looking at the Saints receivers, who you think coming out of training camp may stand out the most?
Good question. Besides the usual guys, the Shaheeds and the Alaves.
Yeah, I mean, right now you got Chris Olave, Bub Means, you got Kevin Austin Jr. You still have Mason Tipton, which I thought he really stood out.
I'm going to give you a wild card. Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think he is the one I think can stand out because he got a little bit of size in him. Maybe one of the bigger receivers on the team. We'll see how that goes. And then I'm just pretty interested to see where he would be on the depth chart for sure, where he would land.
Yeah, CL, you think this team travels 6 receivers? How many receivers you think makes this 53-man roster? I mean, you still have to look at
What? Yeah, for me,
special
it just
teams.
depends who's gonna play special teams, who's standing out in special teams. After practice, we actually stood in a little more sun and watched some extra reps at special teams practice and seeing the guys that were in there. Not sure how many receivers we're gonna keep, but I would like to tell the people that haven't seen it that Shaheed actually put on 10 to 15 pounds of
He look a
muscle,
little bigger.
and he definitely is still able to get downfield. But I think in this offense, in this year, we're gonna kind of concentrate more on yak, which for the not normal listener, that's yards after the catch. So we're concentrating on intermediate routes, but still getting them open to where they can get yards after the catch. And people like Shaheed and Jawan Johnson have really showed up at practice during that.
Oh, no doubt. And you mentioned the tight end room. I think Jawan Johnson, you said this at practice, that big target receiver, since we don't have a big body
He's
receiver.
going to have to be our 50-50
play a
ball,
significant role in.
Unless somebody like maybe Peoples, maybe Bub steps up. But from right now, as we speak, Jawan Johnson, number 83 from New Orleans Saints, is your 50-50 ball, man.
Yeah, we got to spend a little time inside the trenches real quick.
Come on.
I know we talked about it a little bit with Erin and even Anthony.
Come on.
But that group is really rotating. Like from the interior linemen, we're seeing different looks. Like I saw Ridgeway, which on the depth chart, he's third. It was Ridgeway, Cam, Brizzy, Young, Granderson. Then they rolled a group where you had Stutman with the first group,
Yes,
right?
he was.
So it's really giving guys that's showing on tape thus far some progression, real opportunities. And I'm starting to really buy into the Kellen Moore method. I mean, it's super early, way too early, no preseason games. We didn't even see the first 4 games, but I'm really starting to buy into his approach. We talk about the recovery time right after practice. After practice, you can chill. Like the O-line went caught up on movies, right? Just being able to give that fair rotation. So I can't tell you how many training camp practices I've been in where it wasn't fair assessment. Like,
speak on it.
I'm getting 2 reps, period. Like, it's no, and then 2 reps in the game. So I don't really have no way of getting better. So that's why, like, I even tell the young players, man, stay after 10, 15 minutes, get some extra reps because those 2 reps you get in, you got to make them count. That's just the bottom line. Coach Kellen isn't really taking that approach, Chris. He's really letting the players be listening. I think he's really listening to his veterans. And this could be a situation. Nobody's expecting the Saints to do well, y'all.
Right.
Nobody's expecting the Saints to do anything significant this year. So to your point, CL, like, this could be one of them years, though, where, you know.
And to Faye's point, the different approach. Today, we had 2 11-on-11s happening at the same time on 2 separate fields.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
There's not a lot of standing around in these practices. Everybody's very active. Everybody's rotating in.
Yep.
Like you said, the defensive line, that front seven rotation is crazy right now. You know, obviously we haven't had the live bullets enough to actually get to the quarterback, but soon we'll play August 10th, if I'm not mistaken. We'll play the San Diego Chargers. Oh wow. The Los Angeles Chargers. And I'm throwback.
Yes.
So we're gonna see it happen really fast, but I think everybody, to a man, as well as to players, coaches, and personnel, are excited because it's a new everything. The approach is different, and the one thing I'm so happy and so proud, we are not vanilla. You're not gonna know how we're gonna pressure the quarterback. You're not gonna know that we're gonna run the ball down your throat. You're not gonna know that until we actually play you. Now I'm telling you now because I'm not expecting the Panthers to be listening to me right now. But for the most part, we're gonna run the football, play action, RPO, and then we're gonna hang on our defense and special teams.
Special teams have to be special, Chris. Groupie has proven himself in this league to be a starting kicker. Dude's a little bitty, smaller than you, but at the end of the day, he got a strong leg. Watching Groupie play last year, you think he's somebody that can emerge as one of those Pro Bowl specialists?
He can frustrate me by missing critical kicks sometimes, like that one time against the Packers a few years ago. But for the most part, he has been a pretty accurate kicker. He's around league average, right around 70-something%. So that's like around league average. So he's been a pretty solid kicker for the most part for us, and I think he should still have the job by opening day.
Yeah, I mean he's proven himself, and even on a rough Saints team, as one of those solid place kickers. So fellas, we're gonna take a quick break here, but before we take a break, CL, I mean, you can speak a little more intelligently on this because, little Chris, he really had to come on training camp. You gotta get ready for school. But
it's early too, baby boy. It's early and it's hot.
And it's early and it's hot. Would you say, hey, this team, I'll remain optimistic about the quarterbacks. The receiving core has enough veterans to sustain. I'm super excited about the running backs. The offensive line might be looking like something. Defense is finally complete.
Two things could be true at the same time. One thing you'll know for sure, that defensive line is gonna be biting. That's the one thing you can know. You could bet my Saints card on that. You know, I got the eye scan at the facility. You could bet my eye scan at the facility, right? And the other thing that I pretty much bet my lunch money on, we're going to run the football. We don't have a stable of 5 to 6 running backs for nothing. Those guys are just not camp bodies. I promised a gentleman that I speak to pretty much every day about the Saints that I would not mention his name until we put on pass, but I'm going to just go ahead and do it because he was impressive today. Kendre Miller is 100% healthy right now, and it shows he's showing that he not only is he all the way ready, he's a physical specimen right there. He almost reminds me, and don't nobody kill me, he almost reminds me of a young Erin James. But don't kill me in the chat. I'm just telling you what I've seen on the field with him being 100% healthy and him having that all-star offensive line.
Well, we're way early in training camp. We hadn't played one preseason game left. Right now, you're looking at, 7 running backs on the depth chart. That will change. I am interested in seeing how many we're going to keep. You look at, hey, this is Kendre Miller's 3rd season. He's had some issues. Neil looks good. He's getting reps with the first group. A lot of reps. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he looks smooth. Elvin is Elvin. So I'm just glad we have, a big.
And Cam Akers is the secret question.
Yeah, because he has the playing experience. He played a little while in Minnesota. He was killing me on fantasy.
Cam Akers.
Hey, he was on my fantasy running back 2 years ago. I know you don't play fantasy. I do. Well, it's Inside the Trenches, baby. We ain't gonna talk fantasy next. We're gonna go around the NFL, baby. We're gonna talk real football because guess what? Football is back, baby. Training camps all over the NFL. So we're gonna dive into some of the team stories. What's going on in Cleveland? What's happening down there in Atlanta? What's going on in Washington? So we'll be right back to talk. We'll go around the league. It's Inside the Trenches right here on ESPN Baton Rouge. Don't go nowhere, baby. Watch out there now.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Everybody I ate.
Yeah, and we going back live, baby. Welcome back. It's Inside the Trenches. It's your host, Marlon, Big Favorite. And y'all know how I say it every week. When you're having a good time, time does fly. We want to take this time to thank Conquer Sports Pros for sponsoring this segment. Conquer Sports Pros, you can go to at Conquer Sports Pros on Instagram, on Twitter, at Conquer Sport for more information. If you're a young high school athlete looking to get recruited, if you are a athlete that's in the transfer portal, whatever your situation, you can hit up Conquer Sports for consultation to get you through training, media, you name it. Again, you can DM the good folks at Conquer Sports Pros, at Conquer Sports Pros on Instagram. Well, I can tell you who's conquering the sports, baby. NFL, it is back. Listen, I enjoyed the NBA. It was cool. Let me ask you, off the top of y'all head, y'all have 3 seconds to answer the question. Who won the NBA Finals?
Oklahoma City.
All right, just say it was close. You came close. Just wanted to sit, make sure it was still fresh on your brain. But King is back, NFL, that is it, and they are in full swings. Preseason games are about to start kicking off. I want to say the Chargers versus the Lions.
Thursday night.
This Thursday, July 31st, 7 p.m. for the Hall of Fame game. So definitely check your local listings. And from there, August 7th, August 8th, August 9th, you're going to get, and August 10th, you're going to get those games. Yes, everything ranging from the Colts to the Ravens. I know the Saints take on the Chargers. Some other marquee games to look into, the Chiefs, the Cardinals. So, I mean, things are kicking back off. But right now, we're still in training camp, and it's questions. We're looking for answers with some of the top stories coming out of training camp. So, Caleb Williams is going into year 2. All the hype behind Caleb Williams versus Jaden Daniels. And now that we look back at this thing, hindsight, 2020, the better choice was made by Coach Dan Quinn bringing in Jaden Daniels. And I think that was the better short-term and long-term choice. But since then, I think Chicago has done some things to improve the team. CL, when you think about Chicago, right?
The Bears.
The Bears. They could very well be number 2 or number 4
in
their division.
4. And I like the Bears. I don't necessarily like Caleb. I don't have a problem with him. That offensive line just is still not have proven that they can protect him. I mean, kid was running around with his head cut off last year, not because he couldn't play, it wasn't ready. That offensive line was just not protecting him. I believe he was the highest sack quarterback last year.
That's true.
That doesn't help for his fingernail polish, I promise you. I just don't see it. Even though the Lions have lost both coordinators, Ben Johnson actually going to Chicago, and then obviously Aaron Reed going to the Jets. I just don't see the Lions falling off that far just because of the talent that they have on that roster. It's a very talented roster. And lo and behold, Minnesota, no matter who's their quarterback, their coaching staff seems to always have them in a great position fighting for that division because of so many weapons that they have on offense.
Right.
And then last but not least, of course, the Packers, the Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love is in his 4th season, and that's exactly what he is now. He's seasoned, and there have always been weapons around him in Green Bay.
Well, fellas, they have been very active this offseason as they needed. Biggest place they were active at is on the offensive line, bringing in Joe Tunnelly, bringing in Delman, and they brought in Jonah Jackson. All 3 of those guys. You got Joe. I was mentioning Tooney.
Joe Thuney. Yeah.
Thuney. You got Joe Thuney coming out of Kansas City, tackle, right? That's big for Caleb Williams. This dude had to,
Right.
So that was a good deal. I'm pretty sure you got a boatload of money for it. You get Devin Duvallny from Jacksonville.
Duval
that comes in down. So, I mean, they made some things, but I guess what CL saying, little Chris, it just ain't enough.
I mean, maybe it goes their way, right? Maybe, who would have said Washington Redskins would have been the NFC Championship game? But
absolutely not.
Look at the games that they won. Against the Saints, a 1-point game against the Saints, the last minute play against Chicago.
Yeah.
So you never know. What you think, see?
So I do agree with you. I do think the Bears O-line will improve somewhat this year compared to last year with the additions that y'all both just named. But Green Bay, they're not going nowhere with Jordan Love as their quarterback, Matt LaFleur as their head coach, and a bunch of talent they have on offense and defense despite the loss with Jair Alexander. The Minnesota Vikings, they're not going anywhere. They still got Aaron Jones. Yeah, they might have lost Sam Darnold, but they still got Aaron Jones. They still got Jordan Addison. They still got Justin Jefferson. They still got Brian Flores as their defensive coordinator. And also they still have Kevin O'Connell, offensive guru, as their head coach. So Minnesota may not go anywhere. And the Lions, they always going to be one of the top contenders in the NFC with Jared Goff, what's his name? Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Great offensive line they have there.
Great.
And they're going to have, what's his name? Aiden Hutchinson coming back from an injury last year.
He
And
dealt with a lot of injuries last year on defense.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
I'm still kind of on the fence with how successful the Lions going to be. They could very well be 3rd and 4th or 4th. Why? Not saying that their roster isn't loaded, but you lose both of your coordinators.
Yeah.
One to Chicago, so you got to see one of them twice. Not knowing that with Ben Johnson, which is the biggest addition to the Bears, what he's going to be able to do. Now, Green Bay seems like they have the keys to the front, or Minnesota, give or take, depending on how everything works out with J.J. McCarthy. So here's another thing, y'all. I wonder if I'm going to get another out of CL with this one. Got a little controversy in Dallas. Shouts out to Young Tune.
Oh, boy.
He's probably watching us right now.
Yeah, you're right.
DJ. He's like an extended member inside the trenches.
Yeah, you're right, Tom.
He said it looks like there's a little battle down there and sent me some video evidence. Joe Mixon III is slicing it up while Dak Prescott is making some errors. Do we see a situation in Dallas, y'all, where I don't want to call it a quarterback battle based off of Dak's experience, but you're not mad with Milton? See how he's shaking his head
Well,
already?
I mean, if you think about it, this is Milton's 3rd, 4th year in the league. I anticipate him to be better, right? But I don't care if he was throwing bombs to Rocket Ishmael. They paying Dak $60 million a year.
Highest paid quarterback in the league.
This is not Atlanta with Kirk Cousins as a backup getting with his $180 million contract.
Jerry ain't gonna
He
play
is
that.
Dak Prescott is the highest paid quarterback in football as we speak. and there is no situation that he will not be the starter the entire season.
Yeah, again, and God forbid, only thing that prevents that is injury.
The I word.
But it does, for the Cowboys fans out there, it does give them a sense of hope that, man, you're not saying that Cooper Rush didn't go out there and show a little something.
Oh, he always going to show a little something.
But Dallas thinks about it. Dallas lives on storylines.
Yeah.
At this point, 30 years later, they haven't made it back to the NFC Championship game. So they're living on storylines. They're living on the what ifs. They're living on the, hey, well, if these two go together, we might make. Yeah, that's what they're living on. And, of course, merchandising and Pepsi.
I want to keep the party going. So I'm going to just stick to quarterbacks, and I'm going to stay in Texas, Chris.
Come on.
Okay.
C.J. Stroud, another guy. Now he's in year 3. They don't really have him backup right now. But the point I'm making is you do help him a bit on the offensive line. You get Thomason in there. You got Cam Robinson from Minnesota. You do bring in Christian Kirk because who's out for another 9 months? Probably Tank Dell.
Yeah.
So I'll come to you first, little Chris. Do you see Houston being like in the conversation, going deep into the playoffs?
Well, they're going to win their division for sure. In the AFC South, I mean, yeah, they're going to win their division. But as far as making it far in the playoffs, they might win a wild card game like they did the past 2 years. Right. But going farther than that, like playing against the Ravens or the Bills or the Chiefs, or the or I don't know, I'm not sure about that. So I'm not sure.
And I'm looking at it from this perspective too. Like I wouldn't say that this division is a pushover. I've been watching a lot of Cam Ward. Those veterans on that team liking him. Him and Lockett got a nice connection, and it just seems that he's handling his business. Jacksonville, come on now, they stay in the conversation. Seattle. So when you look at the AFC South, is this just Houston's to have, or will a Tennessee or a Colts team maybe make a little interruption?
Well, they say in football, division rivals, you throw the records out the door.
Mm-hmm. True, that's true.
I look at in favor. Probably tell y'all this. I've never looked at Houston as that golden goose because I look inside the trenches. I realize they lost their left tackle in Larry Tunzel.
I was thinking about that too.
And that is the backside of C.J. Stroud. So now you're telling me you're not 100% sure on your left tackle, and you let Joe, you're not running the football as much because you're still trying to get the ball down the field. Because I've always said the key to Houston winning in the playoffs is Joe Nixon. Mm-hmm. He has to run the football. They did bring over Nick Chubb to help with the workload, but if they're not running first in Texas, I don't believe them going further in the playoffs. And it starts up front.
I'm with you on that. They didn't make a lot of changes up front. I do think this Houston team has talent at the quarterback position.
For sure.
I don't know which Joe Mixon we're going to get this year, but, I mean, it is what it is with them. I want to go out to the West. Go on out West, baby. All right, and we did bring up a team earlier. This is a New Orleans connection because, we are a New Orleans show / Baton Rouge. Let's go to Denver. Tons of New Orleans implications there, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'll start with Coach Payton's staff, right? You get Joe Lombardi from New Orleans. You get Darren Rizzi from New Orleans. Right. You get Vance Joseph via Arizona, residents of New Orleans, West Bank to be exact. And there's John, and then, of course, Sean Payton, who was the head coach for us for 17, 18 years here in New Orleans. Yeah, some churn and grew up. Some people was born and then went to high school.
Yep.
Shouts out to the little Chris's of the world.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? So this team here, to me, is one of the best kept secret rosters, right? I'll start with the receiving core. Marvin Mims. You do have guys like Cortland Sutherland.
Just got paid.
It's about the money. Quietly speaking, A.T. Perry is on that team.
LaJordan Humphrey.
I think Weezy out of here.
He's out of there.
When they brought him in.
They definitely, last year they did. Tight end Evan Ingram definitely handled business for me on fantasy football last season.
He is good.
But the conversation really starts with the two guys in the backfield. And Bo Nix, who looks exceptionally well just watching training camp clips on NFL Network. And then you got J.K. Dobbins, who has shown promise here in this NFL. When y'all look at this, we got a couple more minutes here, guys. I want to talk about Denver's defense as well. But when you look at this, Denver's offense, in a West that could get tricky. We don't know what's happening over there with homie with the L.A. Chargers. Right. You know, he like to win. He like DJ Khaled, right? And Coach Harbaugh. I was about to say John is Jim. Coach Jim Harbaugh. And then, of course, Patrick Mahomes over there, man. Him and Andy, they know how to get to the championship. They actually just went there last year. So, you know, you got Patrick Mahomes still over there. And then, you know, she was having with Coach Pete Carroll. It's a winning division. What is this? Everybody's won a Super Bowl. Every head coach in the West, AFC West, have won a Super Bowl or a national championship.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's correct, right?
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm.
So you got Coach Payton won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Andy Reid won a handful.
Yeah.
Right. Coach Jim Harbaugh won the Natty, and then of course Pete Carroll won the Super Bowl.
And Coach Harbaugh lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he did.
Coach
I was just about to
Harbaugh
mention
lost
that.
the Super Bowl. Right. This is a winning division, y'all. You know, real quick here, each guy give me y'all thoughts. When you look at Denver, do you see this a team that could go deep in the playoffs? Yeah.
Well, I love Denver. Obviously, the connection between Patrick Surtain, the second. Obviously, the connection between me and Coach Payton. Obviously, the connection with the state of Colorado. I just don't know about Dobbins in the backfield. Coach is going to be looking for somebody that we might cut from out of our backfield. Let's just say maybe we cut Cam or we cut Clyde or whoever we cut running back-wise. I think that Coach will cherry pick off of someone's roster to get a backup behind Dobbins, because we know Dobbins has dealt with some injuries in the past, and he's gonna need that cowbell in the war for trenches in the AFC West.
And they did draft R.J. Harvey in the second round, so I mean that should hold something as well. Chris, your thoughts on the Denver Broncos?
They could be pretty similar to what they were last year, but a little bit better this year, of course.
Yeah.
Being like a wild card team, only because of how tough the division is, like we just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And can they make it far in the playoffs? Depending on the opponents they play, so we will see.
Yeah.
And there's one thing about the Denver Broncos that everybody kind of forgot last year. That front seven was the leading sack team in the NFL.
And I forgot, that's New Orleans once again. BT Jordan, pass rush specialist.
You could call them no names, you could do whatever, but 15 and the rest of those boys on that D-line, they got after it last year.
They have a great defense overall.
Yeah, and it was, so
one of the best
they
in the
have
league.
potential moving forward, and it's all in what they're gonna do offensively, I think. Because the defense is solid across the board.
It's fine.
Well, y'all know I'm 5'04". First, you heard me. Like I said, like
To the
little
ball
BG,
gripper.
so you heard me. Yeah, you dig. What's that? Miss little BG, you heard me. 5'04" to the grizzle, you heard me. And this roster is 5'04" to the grizzle.
Sure.
A.T. Perry got drafted here. We talked about Trotman. We talked about BT Jordan. They hired him just as a pass rush
Michael
specialist.
Burton.
Look what happens, Michael Burton is just a team, the coaching staff. Vance from Marrero, for crying out loud.
Pat was born here.
You see, Pat was born here. His dad played with Chris in high school, and they like family. So I think outside of the Saints, we can root for the Denver Broncos, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Michael, give me a jersey and everything. You know what I'm saying? Look, I trained Zach Allen when I was with the BT Jordan's Pass Rush Academy. I had him, Savion Jones, Edgar, Louisiana, St. James, Louisiana, another one. I actually called Vance, like, y'all need to look at drafting him. And they actually drafted him in the third round. Malcolm Roach was spend some time in New Orleans. I mean, we can go on and on, but we don't have enough time. Will Lutz. We could keep going, but we definitely wanted to take it around the league. We've ran out of time here on Inside the Trenches. Time does fly when you're having a good time.
Oh, yeah.
But we want to thank you, the viewer, for tuning in, spending time with us. It's greatly appreciated from the bottom of our hearts. Remember, like and subscribe right here on ESPN Baton Rouge. Check us out 6:30 p.m. every week right here, every Monday right here at the Loyola Studios. And remember, go to YouTube again and subscribe to Inside the Trenches with Marlon Favorite. You'll love our clips, lots of shorts, quick watches. You'll really enjoy it. For Chris, look, Chris, you know what I'm saying, representing, you heard me? My homie CL, of course, the whole crew. Taylor Gang in the building. We got Damian, UP, everybody representing.
Daniel CH.
CH in the building, everybody over there. I'm not missing anybody. Spin came through, showed some love. If I'm forgetting you, I ain't forgot you.
Who was our guy on the text we missed?
We missing some. Oh, Wes. Shouts out to Wes out there. Yeah.
Baby.
Watching us from afar. Spin watching. And again, our sponsors, Health Nut System. Appreciate you, Conquer Sports as well. Listen, we'll be back same time next week. A little more information. 6:30 p.m. right here on ESPN's Baton Rouge YouTube channel. Well, that does it, y'all. Y'all have a blessed week. I hope y'all enjoy it. And we'll be back. Peace.
Inside the trenches.